Welcome to a short video introduction to IntelliTrack LE, recognized as the leading software solution available to assist investigations and missions that utilize various forms of location-based surveillance. Capturing location data from surveillance missions is commonplace. The challenge is finding the true intelligence hidden within the data collected. When the geolocation is properly analyzed, we can identify a number of areas where the extracted intelligence would be beneficial to investigations. Optimizing surveillance missions, identifying meeting and dead drop locations, and predicting a target's whereabouts is just some of what IntelliTrack can do. There are a number of sources of geolocation data. All that is required for IntelliTrack to produce meaningful results is a string of geolocation attributable to a specific target. This data can come from covert trackers, cell pings, call records, or other data sources. What IntelliTrack allows you to do is move beyond the traditional view of dots on a map capability that accompanies most location-based monitoring technologies. IntelliTrack rapidly provides patterns of movement over any period of time for an individual or groups, and answers the very difficult question of who meets who, when and where do they meet, and how often. IntelliTrack will also answer the challenging question of, tell me with a 90% confidence level where my target or targets are going to be next Friday. IntelliTrack LE has been fielded in the market for over 5 years and is deployed at the federal level in 5 countries. All of our customers are required to conduct a market scan for competitive products, but with no comparable products available, IntelliTrack is continually sole sourced without an open RFP process. We will briefly discuss some of the key use cases for fully analyzed geolocation data in the investigative process and illustrate some of the results IntelliTrack will produce. IntelliTrack can automatically identify a home and work location, uncover patterns in a target's movements, and uncover who's in their network. You can also fuse disparate data sources into a single track file for analysis. The pattern of life grid is the visual, color-coded calendar of the target's movements. Each day has its own column. Every hour is color-coded based on activity, and each cell is interactive. You can interrogate each cell for details of activity, or plot those activities on the map, and go as far as interrogating the details for each fix or each visit to a destination. You can easily scroll through the days and weeks of data and filter by the most important days and locations. Destination profiles are created for every location a target visits. In this report, we're looking at 3 locations, each color-coded, that a high-risk offender should be at every week. We should see a pattern with no breaks in the data. A break in the pattern indicates the target was not where they should have been. You can sort by icon, group, or just select certain destinations to appear on this report. The itinerary report is available for the entire tracking period or for any given day, and can be easily distributed by analysts to investigators. All notes, events, Twitter posts, and similar external data compiled in the investigative process are added to the itinerary. Being able to fuse data allows for a more thorough analysis of the target's movements. This example shows their GPS activity, call records, and social media posts. Each provides a valuable layer of intelligence on their own, but when fused together, we now have a single report to understand where they were, who they were engaging and for how long, and what they were posting on social media. Once we understand a target's movements, reacquiring a lost target, determining optimal times to collect or replace a device, and determining where and when to allocate resources becomes far easier. This destination profile tells us all the time the target spends at home. Virtually any night of the week would be an optimal time to go and apprehend this target or collect or replace covert GPS hardware. We can also spot a day near the end of April when the target fails to return home. Perhaps that's a cause for further investigation. Being able to correlate large volumes of data makes it easy to identify where multiple targets meet, who they meet, how often, as well as present potential dead drop locations. In this investigation, over 7 million GPS fixes were collected spanning 6 vehicles and 840 days. In under 5 minutes, we're able to run an analysis to present the user with all the potential meeting locations. This meeting consisted of 2 vehicles being at the same location for just under 8 minutes at the same time. We can show where they were before and after the meeting and generate reports to show all the times that they were there. We're also able to overlay multiple tracks for different people on the same map. This example shows 3 vehicles moving around at the same time but never meeting. Understanding their patterns could provide valuable intelligence not otherwise attainable. In addition to meetings, we can show all the locations a group has in common. Highlighted by the arrows are hotels where a group of human traffickers visit. We can go in and give each of these a high level of interest so we can easily distinguish between a high interest location, in this example a hotel, from a low interest location, such as a fast food restaurant or a gas station. By putting a target's historical pattern into a recurring cycle, we can make tactical predictions based on various destination profiles and locations of interest. In this example, we have 51 days of covert tracker data from a Monday to Friday office worker who has a 7-day recurring cycle. We can select the date range we wish to analyze, the prediction threshold we wish to reach, and then interact with the grid. In this analysis, we're presented with 4 locations other than the target's home address that the target is at least 70% of the time during a given hour. Thank you for taking some time to review IntelliTrack LE. Our military-grade solutions automatically and rapidly answer more than 40 of the most commonly asked questions from analysts related to tracking of an individual. Track Group Solutions, built by agency analysts for agency analysts.